So GES is cautioning the Conference of Heads of Senior High Schools that you can't close down schools. Now, this is as a result of CHASS suggesting that government owes some arrears in the progressive secondary school fees, some other areas in feeding grant, some also from other areas, but the key ones are the feeding grant and then the subsidy, the senior high school free one. And CHASS suggested that it would close down the schools if it doesn't get paid. Now, the GES yesterday sent a warning to them and suggested that, well, you have delayed in sending your claims to us, and the last time you sent the claims was on July 14th. Now, on July 14th, how do you expect GES to pay you those documents and pay you when some of you have, the latest some of you sent your documents was on July 14th. Others have still not sent those documents. The GES says if you close down the school, we'll take sanctions against you. Mr. Champo, let's quickly look at this one. We'll run out of time. So, heads of schools have not done what is right, and they intend to shut down the school. GES says you can't do that until you have done the right thing. Perhaps monitoring isn't that too good, because they were supposed to send some claims, which they haven't sent them.
Well, you know, this is just, I see it as a simple case of calling the bluff. If you are supposed to send information to a center for it to be processed so you get a return back, and you haven't done that, on what basis would you argue that you want to keep the schools closed? I mean, it's a straightforward issue. You haven't done it. So why would you then determine that you want to close down the schools until those things are done? We are dealing with timelines here. You are supposed to do a certain thing by a certain time. If you haven't done it, it means all that time you haven't done it. We are all waiting and sitting for you to do it. So I don't think the heads had any business saying they are going to close down the schools. And the GES is right in pointing out that they don't have the mandate to do that. It's a straightforward issue. Get the information to us, let us process it, and send it back to you. And if you haven't done it within a certain time frame, you have no business trying to say you close down the schools. I mean, some of these things, you know, in the public space, we spend time arguing about it. But for me, they are straightforward issues that could be dealt with. What is the solution out of this? You need to speed up the system, bring the things that you need, so that the GES can also work on it and send it back to you, so that you don't have to get to a point where you close down the schools. But until you do such thing, you have things still undone, and it has to be completed.
Okay. Now, a quick one. The GES seem to have a case, but perhaps it is the way they have gone about it, because they, apart from the issues of feeding grants, unpaid government scholarships, unpaid progressive free education scholarships, this 3.3 cities feeding grant had been flagged, and yet they were not getting the signal for it to be readjusted.
You've been to a secondary school before.
I have.
Do you see headmasters of secondary schools as people who are not responsible?
Well, it would be very difficult to make a general
how many secondary
assessment
schools
of
have you been to?
Oh, just about 2 of them.
Yes,
2
2 secondary
all my
schools.
heads were
Headmasters.
Vincent Freeman.
Look, when you go to a typical secondary school, yeah, the normal masters, the teachers, you may then have the head of departments, biology departments. You then will have the house masters. You may then have the senior house masters. You may have the assistant headmasters. And then you have the headmaster. Those people, they are not kids. Now, GES, Ghana Education Service, is telling them that you haven't brought your request. For headmasters, and not just one, all of them, to make this public statement shows you that they've been frustrated to a level that they can't do anything else.
That is your assumption.
What is your assumption?
My assumption is that the last time they brought the documents was
what
on
is in
July
the story?
14th.
The story is
No, GES, we were looking at GES story.
Yeah.
I'm saying GES is saying to the headmasters that you have not brought your claims.
Right.
That's what GES is saying.
Exactly.
The headmasters, look at the plethora of monies that have not been paid.
Right.
Scholarships,
And fees, feeding grants, scholarships,
subsidies.
progressively free education scholarship, then there's also inadequate feeding fee. All that.
Go on. There are more. And you are saying that these headmasters, they haven't submitted the claims for all of this. That's what GES is saying.
Right.
And they suddenly get up and threaten to close down schools. I mean, how is that possible? Headmasters, not class prefects. Now, you see, there's a problem. Look, this government, let me give you one instance of the problem. This government said it's introducing free secondary school, starting at the day school level from 2014, 2015. As we speak, after that loud announcement and fanfare, the fees, GES fees for day schools a year is 405 Ghana cedis. What the government is paying is 118. And yet you say you have introduced free secondary school at day.
Parents
Day
are paying
school
the
level.
rest.
Parents are paying the rest. And yet you are claiming you've brought free secondary school at the day school level. I don't know. Sometimes you don't know whether you have to laugh or to cry. Find out. The GES approved fees for day school is 405. Government pays 118.
I see.
And yet they say it's
I
free.
have no that
Look.
information, but I don't have that information.
Oh, please find out.
I will. I will.
There must be a day secondary school.
Yes,
just,
I will.
just send your reporter.
Right.
Send your reporter.
I'll find.
And when you ask them, they say, "Oh, it's progressive." What that progressive means depends on who is speaking.
No. All right. I'll find out. But let's reserve the last minutes of the show.
I mean, for headmasters,
yeah,
and you know, headmasters, they are under the GES.
Right.
For them to come out as a body, all the secondary schools, it's not with just one headmaster, all of them,
when they have not submitted their claim.
to make a public statement that we will close down the schools. You think if they haven't submitted their claims, they haven't been engaging them? They talked about letters and letters and letters.
Okay,
Read that.
Mr. Cole had made the statement that they have not. So let's wait for CHASS to come out today to say that Mr. Cole is lying and that we have submitted. But he said
the headmasters are lying.
He said the last time he received document was on 14 July, and they are waiting for
every
which
is last week.
Yes. Last week.
Oh, so so you want us to believe that the headmasters have actually not submitted their claims?
No, I'm saying that that's what the GES said.
And you want us to believe that?
Oh no!
What is he supposed to do?
I want you to believe, but I believe what the GES.
But that champion believes.
What is he supposed to do?
Exactly what.
What is he supposed to do?
No. 1 second. You are telling me that the headmasters they only submitted their claims last week.
Yes.
And after submitting their claims on 14th July.
Yes.
20th July, they are claiming that they are threatening to close down the schools.
Right.
Because since they submitted their claims on 14th July, the scholarships have not been paid. The feeding grants have not been paid.
Exactly.
The subsidies have since they submitted on 14th July.
And in fact, it is not all of them have submitted. Because the process is...
You are beating a dead horse, seriously.
Okay, I want us to wrap up.
The dead horse is the
Mr. said that.
The dead horse. Listen
And
the dead horse is the government.
Oh, okay.
You are beating a dead horse.
All right.
It's the government that is dead.
Let's wrap up.
You are trying very much
Let's wrap
to
up.
paint a picture, but
Let's
the paint
wrap up.
is not
You,
working.
Government Champion, you are inviting us
sorry.
to accept what the GES is saying. But the headmasters
we'll find out.
submitted their
I'm
claims.
sure
only-
CHASS will make a
CHASS will
statement
have to make
today.
a reaction
But
to
you
this.
yourself, I mean, yourself.
No, I don't want to.
The headmaster submitted
Banana.
only last week. Only last week.
Let's wrap up.
And you are going on strike.
Honorable Uyafe has been laid to rest. Not today. I think the process is starting today. I think today is a state barrier.
Yes.
Service. A quick word on him, and then we'll wrap up. A former colleague, and then
Yes, actually, you can see I'm dressed.
Yes, you are in
this,
black. Yes, a
native
quick
white
word,
as
and then
well.
we'll
I'll be going directly to the State House where we would pay our respects to him. He's been in Parliament, I think, two terms, I think from 2004. I think two terms, yes. But you know, he's quite a remarkable man in one small sense, that he actually used to be a deputy minister in Rawlings's government up to 2000. And then obviously he saw that there was a better party. So he joined the NPP and became a member of parliament. And he's represented the Abetifi constituency for 2 terms. And he wasn't that, I don't think he was much older than 60 years. So it's unfortunate, it's an untimely death. He was a calm man. Many people don't know him. People know the noisemakers like myself and Kwabena Champo. But he's a calm man, pleasant. Half the time you find him listening to music. He always has his phones in his ears and so on. And it's just sad that he had to go in this untimely fashion. Okay. The by-election was held last week, and the NDC did not take part. They gave some reason that it's not tenable. They said it's to respect the death of.
And I thought we were paying tribute to them now.
Yeah, but it's a related matter. the NDC said they would not take part in Abetifi because of the they're paying respect. And they gave the same excuse for not contesting Ibuakwa because they said of the way that JB Dankwa. But you see, they contested Amenfi, which was also a death.
Yeah, but that was our seat. Why did you contest?
So it is not a death.
I was spending just.
Please.
Oh, okay.
It is not a death.
Okay.
It is hypocrisy.
Call me a quick one on the Yafi.
Well, it's quite a wonderful man. I met him a couple of times, and he has a cool demeanor, kind demeanor, and for me, those are the things that he left with me. And it's sad he's gone, but that's where life is.
You used to hold your former position, Deputy Minister for Trade.
Yeah.
No, I was not Trade Minister.
Oh, you're not Deputy Minister for Trade?
No. I was Interior.
I'm grateful.
Interior.
I'm grateful. Kwabena Champon is the aspiring member of Parliament for the Cape Coast North constituency. Kwabena, I'm grateful for your time this morning.
Is he going to win?
Well, yes, he will win. Or are you going to win?
I'll win hands down.
Yes, he said he'll win hands down. Grateful for your time. Have a great weekend. Nana Kwamia is the deputy.
You believe him?
Oh God, communications director of the NPP. We're grateful for your time this morning.
You believe anything?
We wish you a great weekend.
You believe anything?